woke up on my own. My mom didn't go to church today because she had bad diarrhea, but it could be nerves, it could be from the mouse, but the church woman came over and showed us how to do that stove. And then my mom was like, well, should we have had her over? But I asked her to come here without telling her about the mouse and help with the stove because I needed to boil chicken. Oh, my chicken was all gone. After the fact, I realized we could have used the crock pot. We could boil the chicken in the crock pot. I had to tell my mom about that rare disease that's from mouse droppings, and that, because I'm not going to hide that from her. Even when you go online, they say this is rare, but just in case you need to know. Alright? Because it might be rare, but if it happens to you, it's serious, 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 and deadly 38% of the time. Right? It's called HPS, heart virus, pulmonary syndrome, and even if you survive it, it ain't pleasant. You have to be hospitalized and in intensive care and taken care of. And I'm the one who's been the most exposed because I didn't know. You're not supposed to vacuum, you're not supposed to sweep. Remember, that mouse was here a whole entire week before I actually saw it. It might have been here a lot longer. It can take weeks and weeks for the symptoms to develop of that, but potentially deadly, rare virus. And I've done all the wrong things because I haven't worn a mask or gloves. I've swept, I've vacuumed, and then that last night was the worst because I opened up that stove and I shouldn't have, and all that stuff under there. If it's all mixed with the mouse's urine and feces, and I smelled it, I breathed it in, and that's airborne, and that's the worst thing you can do. So we're all on edge here. Mom, me, we're on edge. And then she's like, maybe we shouldn't have invited the church woman, had her in here. And I'm like, well, we didn't do it on purpose, Mom. And, if we all get sick, me, you, and her, then it was meant to be. What are you going to do? But I went to sleep deep. I don't know what time it is. I came here at 12. I slept deep. I told my mom, don't wake me up for any reason. Just let me sleep in here. The church woman even went to the store for us, which she didn't really need to do as long as she could fix our stove. She knew how to do it. But even she showed my mom, and then my mom was supposed to let me sleep, but she knew I was in here only not that long. I wasn't asleep yet. She knocked on the door and said she didn't go, and that the church woman had shown her how to do the stove. Well, she wasn't able to do it anyway. So then the church woman came back with the food, which we weren't expecting, because I said, I'm going to bed. You have her just come in here, put it down when she brings back the food after church, but she wound up bringing it before and startling us. But that was nice of you. She was like, well, I thought you might need it now. And technically, she was right. I did. Almost first meal was only rice, and that's not very nice to him, because I didn't have any chicken left. Because I wasn't able to boil the chicken yesterday, and I purchased 2 packages, but I didn't think I had to cook them all. I didn't know that was going to happen to the stove, but she knew how to do it. But then she came back, and even when my mom wasn't able to show me how to do it, and then she came back, and the church was having a little difficulty. She knows how to do it, but it was acting up, and I'm like, forget it, I don't want to know, I'm not going to open it again, just close it for me, just close it. Because at first she wouldn't come in. She's like, I showed you, Mom, how to. She's like, you can do it. You just do this. I'm like, please. My mom was like, please just come in and do it. Oh. I appreciate you being late for church, but nobody asked you to. I just need this stove down. And my mom opened it back up to try to show me, and then we couldn't get it back down again. You know, I understand the concept, but it's still, it just, you know, it's too annoying. And I had cleaned it anyway, because I thought about that. She's coming over here to close it, and I forgot to clean under there. But I should have read the stuff online first. I went and read all the stuff online while I was boiling the chicken, and it's too late. So I had weird fucking dreams. I woke up thinking about different things. I was hoping we had slept for hours. I dreamed about that virus. And the mouse. And then all the stuff in the news. And, you know, I don't think Trump should do what he's threatened to do and close our southern borders, but the reason that I feel that way is because on the news it says $1.7 billion worth of goods and services travel across our borders back and forth every single day. Alright? So it would really hurt our economy to close the southern borders. That being said, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm just utilizing pure and simple common sense. Okay? If human beings, if people flee their countries, if people fleeing their countries come to our country in the tens of thousands, and it increases and increases and increases, and just thousands and thousands and thousands of people from other countries, and we want to come here, they're fleeing their countries, well, eventually we will be their countries. We won't be our country anymore. You know what I mean? That's why I've said in response to people who say, well, it's cruel to not, you're supposed to just let those people in indefinitely because they are families fleeing bad conditions in their country. I know, but where does it end? But you know what I mean? Eventually, and there's been a huge influx. Even the so-called fake news admits that. There's been a huge influx of immigrants fleeing, people from other countries fleeing into our country. And yes, they are human beings just like us, and I recognize that, and it's upsetting. I even said to Joe, but it's upsetting to think about, but Laura, there's nothing we can do about it if we endlessly, to the point of tens of thousands, just and more, which is what's happening. We won't be our country anymore. We will become the same countries they are fleeing. Okay? We can only accept so many people from other countries before we won't be our country anymore. And that makes sense to me. But I don't say it without compassion. I don't say it to be cruel or a jerk. I just say it matter of fact. And even the mainstream news is talking about how just a huge influx in the number of immigrants, seeking asylum here in the United States. And where does it end? It's all very sad, but, where does it end? about it too much, you know, it'll kill you if you care. I woke up thinking all about this stuff. Had weird fucking dreams. I can't even think what they were. I'm hoping I slept a long time. I feel wide awake. And I am scared now of the potential to die from a mouse being in my mom's home for the first time in 12 fucking years since she moved in. And the thing is, why did it get in? And why now? Why now? It just seems so unnaturally coincidental that the work was done in the house and then suddenly there's a mouse. I'm gonna go see what time it is, or at least I'll turn on my mom's TV and see what time it is. I know I came in here at a little after like 12:06 and I just did this video for 12 minutes, so when that mouse came up to the counter like that, I thought to myself, you are so close, or that thing could leap at you. It probably won't, but why is it even daring to come so close? It knows you're right there. It knows it. It should be running in the other direction. Instead, it came right up. And I have it on video. And I'm going to show my mom. I'm sorry if she wants to, you can't say, well, why are you scaring your mom? I'm making my mom aware. I said, Mom, if you start feeling sick, we need to, if we find out we start being sick, we need to make whoever treats us, we need them to know about the mouse exposure. Alright? It's not the mouse you have to worry about, it's the freaking droppings, and the airborne dust. And that is exactly what I stirred up when I opened up that fucking stove. Alright? The mouse was clearly living in there. It all mixed in. I don't know if it was necessarily living in there, but it was in there enough. We saw it upside down, eating, whatever, you know what I mean? It's living in our stove, period. And that's another thing. Do we really want to keep that stove? You reach a point, my mom, I always go back to the same thing. A, my mom's saving a lot of money living here as opposed to paying $1,000 a month, give or take, for that apartment. B, she got to free, by some freak thing, freely, as in didn't have to take a loan to do it, like Joe had talked about, a home equity loan like he did with his home. And she got a brand new bathroom that definitely increased the value of her home. So all things considered, I think we should just throw that stove away and start over after, my mom, obviously, after my mom pays for an expert to come here, inspect the home top to bottom, okay? A company we see on TV versus me going to online and I found our contractor, through this thing called Home Advisor, right? It's and Home Advisor is across the United States, and across Massachusetts, and because they ask what city you live in and what, and blah, 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 and, it's but when I told the church woman that, she's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. I've heard horror stories where people have used that site. I had no choice. I wanted a reference. I wanted referrals from my plumber, from the plumber who came over here. Now I'm dealing with them too. They tacked on an extra half an hour. From now on, if anybody comes here and I'm not being billed immediately, we're not being billed immediately, we're writing down the time. I'm going to have him sign it and write down, so you came here at this time, whatever it is, exact time. I know he wasn't here 2.5 hours. I know that he wasn't. I have no proof that he wasn't, but I'm enraged over that, because right afterwards, I said to my mom, okay, he was here for a couple hours. I think I remember saying to him, so you were here, you know, a couple hours today, so it's going to be at times whatever you charge, and then last night was the emergency thing, and you know what I mean, and then we get a bill, and it has an extra half hour tacked onto it, and I don't know why.